He died and nobody. He came back with the power to change everything. This is Reality Quest. The classroom is loud before the story even begins. Students are talking over each other, laughing in groups, throwing jokes across the room, complaining about school, and wasting time like normal teenagers do. It is the kind of messy classroom noise that most people would ignore. But in the middle of all of it, one boy is sitting completely still except for his hands. His name is Do-wan. And while everyone else is living an ordinary school day, Do-wan is locked onto his phone like his life depends on it. His eyes are tired. His shoulders are tense. His fingers are moving non-stop. To the people around him, it probably looks pathetic. Just another game addict playing during class. Just another loser who cannot put his phone down. But the truth is much worse than that. Do-wan is not playing because he wants to have fun. He is playing because he has no choice. A classmate notices him and calls him out, asking if he is grinding again. That one comment is enough for the others to start whispering and laughing. They act like he is insane for playing games in school. They talk like he is some kind of hopeless addict. Some of them sound amused, some sound disgusted, and some are just happy to have someone to look down on. But none of them understand what is really happening. Do-wan is not just controlling one account. He is managing multiple devices at once, switching between tasks, watching cooldowns, farming resources, and handling gameplay that does not even belong to him. His fingers are moving because if they stop, someone else will make him pay for it later. That is his role. Not a friend. Not a teammate. Not a respected gamer. A tool. A bullied student who gets forced to play other people's accounts because he is too weak to say no. And that is what makes the whole thing so miserable. Do-wan is good at games. He is actually extremely good. But instead of that talent giving him confidence, freedom, or respect, it became another reason for stronger people to use him. They do not see him as a person. They see him as free labor. A game booster. A convenient servant. Someone they can threaten whenever they need something done. So while his classmates laugh and make comments, Do-wan sits there with anger building inside him. He hates every second of it. He hates the screen. He hates the classroom. He hates the people who forced him into this situation. And more than anything, he hates himself for being unable to escape it. Then, out of nowhere, a soft voice reaches him. Someone says he is really good at the game. Do-wan almost ignores it at first. He is used to people talking about him like he is not there. He is used to insults. He is used to mockery. Praise is so rare that it does not feel real. But when he turns his head and sees who spoke, his entire body freezes. It is Jean. The girl everyone knows. The kind of girl who does not even need to try to stand out. She has that calm, bright presence that makes the whole room feel different when she walks in. She is popular, pretty, and so far above Do-wan's world that he never seriously imagined she would ever speak to him. And yet, here she is. Standing beside him. Looking at his phone. Talking to him like he is a normal person. For a second, Do-wan cannot even think properly. His brain is too busy trying to process the impossible. Why is she here? Why is she talking to him? Did she really just compliment his gameplay? Then he notices the phone in her hand. Jean plays games too. That detail hits him harder than it should. To Do-wan, it is like discovering a secret connection between them. He knows it is ridiculous, but he cannot stop himself from feeling excited. A girl like Jean plays games. And she noticed his skill. And now she is asking him about it. For a bullied kid who spends most of his school life invisible, this feels like a miracle. Jean explains that she made a bet with her friends about her score, but she is currently losing. She says it casually, like it is no big deal, but to Do-wan, every word feels important. His heart is racing. His hands are still holding the phone, but his focus is completely gone. This might be his only chance. A chance to talk to her. A chance to help her. A chance to be useful in a way that does not feel like being exploited. He tries to speak, but his voice does not come out smoothly. He stutters, hesitates, and finally offers to play for her. The offer is awkward, but sincere. He tells her he can help with the game. Inside, he is already imagining it. Maybe she will smile. Maybe she will thank him. Maybe this will become the start of another conversation later. Maybe someone like him can get a little closer to someone like her. But A-Jean gently refuses. She tells him it is okay because he already looks busy. Do-wan panics and immediately lies. He says he is just playing because he enjoys it. That lie is almost painful. Because there is nothing enjoyable about what he is doing. The game in his hands is not freedom. It is a chain. But he cannot let A-Jean know that. He cannot tell her that he is playing because bullies forced him to. He cannot expose how pathetic his life really is. So he pretends. Then he tries to sound cool. He says there is a saying that life is like a game, and the more you play, the more it helps you in life. A-Jean laughs. Not a fake laugh. Not an awkward one. A real laugh. Do-wan is stunned. She laughed. A-Jean laughed because of something he said. It is such a small moment, but to him it feels enormous. For once, someone did not look at him with pity or disgust. For once, someone did not treat him like an object. For once, he made someone smile. And because of that, he starts hoping again. That is the dangerous part. Hope. For someone like Do-wan, hope is not comforting. It is risky. Because the higher he lets himself dream, the harder reality hits when it comes back. And reality comes back almost immediately. A-Jean's friend appears and asks what she is doing there. Then she looks at Do-wan and asks if he is her friend. The question hangs in the air for 1 second. Do-wan probably already knows the answer, but hearing it still hurts. A-Jean says no. Not cruelly. Not like she wants to embarrass him. She simply says they are not friends and explains that she was only waiting there. And just like that, the little fantasy in Do-wan's head collapses. Of course. Why would someone like A-Jean be friends with someone like him? He watches as she leaves with her friend, and he quietly tells himself to stop dreaming. He had one conversation. That is all. A tiny moment that meant everything to him and probably almost nothing to her. But then A-Jean turns back. She thanks him. And she says his name. Ha Do-wan. That one detail completely shocks him. She knows his name. A-Jean actually knows his name. For a second, Do-wan forgets the classroom, the game, the bullies, the fear, everything. His entire world narrows down to that one impossible fact. He feels like he could die happy just because the girl he likes knew he existed. But that moment of happiness costs him. Because while he was distracted, his character died. A notification appears on the screen. Then another. His character has died. A penalty will be applied. An item has been dropped. And when Do-wan sees the name of the item, his heart falls into his stomach. The Heavenly Emperor Sword. This is not just some random piece of equipment. This is a valuable weapon. Worse than that, it belongs to Min Cheon-woo, the bully who forced him to play in the first place. Do-wan knows exactly what this means. He is dead. Not in the game. In real life. Because Cheon-woo is not the kind of person who forgives mistakes. He is the kind of person who turns mistakes into excuses. And when someone like him gets an excuse, he uses it to hurt people. As if summoned by fear itself, Cheon-woo appears. His face is already twisted with rage. He storms toward Do-wan like he has been waiting for this moment all day. His voice is sharp, aggressive, and full of anger. He curses Do-wan for taking his eyes off the screen. Before Do-wan can properly explain, Cheon-woo hits him. The punch lands hard. Pain explodes across Do-wan's face. Blood runs from his nose. His body reacts before his mind does, and he starts apologizing immediately. He is sorry. He did not mean it. He will fix it. He will give something back. That is what bullying has trained him to do. Apologize quickly. Lower your head. Make yourself small. Hope they get bored before the damage becomes too bad. Do-wan even offers to give Cheon-woo his own Heavenly Emperor sword as compensation. He is desperate to calm him down. If the item is the problem, then replacing it should solve everything, right? But that is not how bullies work. Cheon-woo acts interested for a moment. Then he beats Do-wan anyway. Because the lost sword was never the real issue. The real issue is power. Cheon-woo enjoys standing above him. He enjoys making him panic. He enjoys seeing someone weaker tremble because of him. The item loss only gave him a reason to do what he already wanted to do. As Do-wan gets beaten, a bitter thought forms in his mind. Life is like a game. But not for people like him. For people like Cheon-woo, yes. Life is a game where they can raise their rank by crushing others. They hunt weak students like monsters, farm fear like experience, and show off their strength by humiliating anyone who cannot fight back. But Do-wan is not a player in that game. He is a mob. A weak enemy placed there so stronger people can feel powerful. After the beating, Cheon-woo gives him another order. Spring break starts tomorrow, and during that break, Do-wan has to grind in Lost Jack and obtain a legendary weapon for him. The Great Sword of the Flame King. Do-wan immediately knows how impossible that is. A legendary item is not something you can just promise to get. It depends on drop rate, boss farming, luck, time, and sometimes money. Getting one in a single week is already ridiculous. Getting one under pressure, alone, with no support, is almost impossible. But Cheon-woo does not care. He gives him a deadline anyway. 1 week. And if Do-wan fails, Cheon-woo promises to humiliate him in the worst way possible. He says he will strip him down and beat him in front of Ep1. That threat hits harder than any punch. Do-wan can already imagine it. The entire school laughing. Cheon-woo standing over him. Ep1 watching him be destroyed. His last tiny bit of dignity being ripped away. The thought is enough to make his hands shake. Cheon-woo walks away with his friends like nothing happened. They are already talking about spring break, about drinking, about girls, about enjoying themselves. Meanwhile, Do-wan is left behind with blood on his face and terror in his chest. He looks at his phone. The game is still there. The game that everyone thinks he loves. The game that has become the reason he gets beaten. The game that now decides whether he survives the next week. And in that moment, he hates it. He hates video games. But that is only one side of Ha Do-wan. Because the moment school disappears and he is alone in his room, everything changes. Spring break begins. His mother is away on a business trip, which means the house is empty. No school. No bullies. No classmates laughing. No teachers pretending not to see anything. Just him. His computer. And the game. The moment he sits down, the bullied version of Do-wan fades away. In real life, he is weak. But in the game, he is powerful. His main character is already at the level cap. He knows the mechanics, the bosses, the farming routes, the timing, the builds, and the little tricks most players never figure out. He has spent so much time grinding that the game world feels more familiar than his own school. Inside the game, he is not a loser. He is not Cheon-woo's punching bag. He is not someone people can order around without consequences. He is strong. And maybe that is why the thought appears in his mind. What if real life could be like a game? What if effort always mattered? What if every painful fight gave experience? What if he could level up? What if he could become stronger by grinding until nobody could touch him anymore? It is a childish fantasy, but Do-wan cannot help thinking about it. Because games are fair in a way his life is not. In a game, if you lose, you can try again. In a game, if you grind, your numbers rise. In a game, if you get stronger, enemies that used to scare you become easy. But real life is not like that. In real life, a weak person can work hard and still stay weak. So Do-wan pushes the thought away. There is no time to dream. He needs the sword. He begins grinding. At first, he believes he might manage it. He knows Lost Jack too well. He understands the boss patterns. He knows how to maximize efficiency. If he spends enough hours and keeps his focus, maybe he can force the item to drop before the deadline. But then the game betrays him. His character dies. Do-wan stares at the screen, confused. That should not have happened. He is max level. He knows this fight. His character should not have gone down that easily. Then the patch notes appear. The max level has been raised. Boss difficulty has increased. Legendary item drop rates have been reduced. Do-wan reads the update and feels like the game itself is laughing at him. Everything just became harder. The boss is stronger. The item is rarer. The grind is longer. And Cheon-woo's deadline has not changed. But Do-wan does not have the luxury to complain. So he keeps playing. Hours pass. The game warns him that he has been logged in too long. He ignores it. He keeps hunting. Keeps dying. Keeps learning patterns. Keeps adjusting his timing. Keeps trying to squeeze out every advantage he can. His eyes burn, his hands ache, and his body starts begging him to rest, but he refuses. Because stopping means failure. And failure means Cheon-woo. More hours pass. The warnings keep appearing. The item still does not drop. Instead, the game keeps showing him cash shop promotions. Drop rate boosters. Experience boosters. Gold packs. Limited offers. Recommended bundles. Do-wan realizes what is happening instantly. The developers made the game harder and lowered the drop rates so desperate players would spend money. It is a cash grab. A disgusting, obvious cash grab. And because he is desperate, Do-wan is exactly the kind of player the system wants to exploit. But he cannot afford to solve this with money. So he solves it with time. 1 day becomes 2. 2 becomes 3. Sleep disappears. Meals become random. Caffeine becomes fuel. His body starts breaking down while his mind remains trapped on one goal. Get the sword. Just get the sword. Nothing else matters. By the end of the week, Do-wan is barely functioning. His face is pale. His eyes are dead. His hands move from habit more than energy. He has spent almost everything he can spend, both in-game and physically. And still, the sword has not dropped. The deadline is almost here. Only 1 day remains. Do-wan starts imagining what will happen if he fails. Cheon-woo's face appears in his mind. The school. The laughter. A-jin watching him be humiliated. He feels his hope slipping away. Then, when he is almost completely out of options, another player appears. A level 200 player. Someone with an absurd name and even more absurd strength. This player destroys the boss in a single attack. Do-wan stares at the screen in disbelief. The boss that tortured him for days just disappeared like it was nothing. No struggle. No panic. No desperate pattern learning. Just overwhelming power. Then the player asks if Do-wan is looking for a party. Do-wan immediately notices that the player talks strangely. Like some royal character from a fantasy drama. Every line sounds dramatic, arrogant, and completely ridiculous. But Do-wan does not care. A strong psycho is still strong. And right now, strength is the only thing he needs. So he plays along. He calls the player Your Highness. He acts like a loyal servant. He flatters him, begs him, and says whatever he needs to say to stay in the party. Because if this person leaves, his last chance disappears. The strange player accepts. Together, they hunt. And finally, after all that suffering, the notification appears. The sword drops. Do-wan almost cannot believe it. He got it. After the sleepless nights, the endless grinding, the cash shop harassment, the boss farming, the fear, and the pressure, he finally got the item. But then he reads the name carefully. It is not the great sword of the Flame King. It is something even better. The great sword of the Fire God. A mythic weapon. For a moment, Do-wan's exhaustion vanishes. This weapon is worth an unbelievable amount. If he sold it, he could make a fortune. After everything he suffered, part of him wants to keep it. But he looks at the screen. He knows the truth. He only got this because of the strange player. Without that person, he never would have cleared the boss fast enough. Without that power, the drop would never have happened. Do-wan may be desperate, but he is not shameless enough to steal the reward from someone who helped him. So he offers the sword to the player. The strange player accepts it. And Do-wan, without realizing it, makes the decision that changes his fate. To him, it is just basic decency. A small act of fairness after a week of misery. But somewhere beyond the screen, someone notices. The grind is finally over. Spring break is ending. Do-wan stands up from his chair and tells himself he just needs a short nap before school. But the moment he rises, his body gives out. He collapses onto the floor. For a second, he does not understand what is happening. Then the damage catches up all at once. No sleep. Almost no food. Too much caffeine. Too much stress. Too much adrenaline. Too many hours spent forcing his body to keep going. His heart feels wrong. His body feels empty. His mind is slipping. And while lying there on the floor, Do-wan realizes the most pathetic truth of his life. He is dying. Not because he fought bravely. Not because he saved someone. Not because he lived the way he wanted. He is dying because he played a game too long for the bullies who controlled him. That realization is almost more painful than death itself. He thinks of his mother. She is away working. She probably has no idea what is happening. She will come home and find him like this. He apologizes to her in his mind, because he does not even have the strength to say it out loud. Then his anger returns. Cheon-woo. That bastard. Even at the edge of death, Do-wan curses him. If Cheon-woo had never forced him into this, none of it would have happened. If he had been stronger, maybe he could have refused. If life were actually like a game, maybe he could have leveled up and fought back. But he did not. He just endured. And now he is dying. His vision darkens. Everything fades. Then, inside the darkness, Do-wan realizes something strange. He can still think. If he is dead, why is his mind still awake? And then a notification appears. A system window. Not on a computer. Not on a phone. In front of him. It addresses him as Player Ha Do-wan. The message says his lifestyle and tendencies have been analyzed. Based on that analysis, he will now be assigned a profession. Do-wan stares at the words, completely unable to understand what is happening. Then the system reveals his class. Gamer. More specifically, a helpless assassin gamer. Even while floating between life and death, Do-wan feels insulted. Helpless? Was that really necessary? Before he can question it further, another message appears. An event quest has occurred. Will you accept? Do-wan reads the word accept in confusion, and the system immediately treats the thought as confirmation. Quest accepted. He did not press anything. He did not agree on purpose. The system simply read his thought and decided for him. Before he can complain, another message appears. He will be resurrected at the coordinates in space and time set by the administrator. The darkness shatters. And Do-wan wakes up in his classroom. At first, his mind cannot process it. The same desks. The same walls. The same classroom noise. The same students talking like nothing happened. His body is sitting where it was before. His phone is in his hand. For a moment, he wonders if everything was just a nightmare. Then he hears Jean's voice. She asks him for help with her game. The same scene. The same day. The day before spring break. Do-wan's blood runs cold. This is not just a dream. He came back. He returned to the past. Jean notices his strange expression, but before anything can continue, her friends call her away. The same little moment moves forward just like before, but now Do-wan is no longer the same person sitting there. He remembers everything. The lost sword. The beating. The week of grinding. The strange player. The mythic weapon. The collapse. The darkness. The system. His heart pounds as he tries to make sense of it. Then the status window appears. Name, Ha Do-wan. Class, Helpless Assassin Gamer. Level, 1. Do-wan stares at the window floating in front of him like an interface from a video game. It is real. Or he has completely lost his mind. Before he can decide which one scares him more, another notification appears. The unique effect of his class activates. All experience points earned from every game he has ever played will be transferred to him. Do-wan freezes. Every game. Not just Lost Jack. Every game he has ever played. His mind starts calculating automatically. He has spent years gaming. Not casually. Seriously. Obsessively. He has grinded accounts, cleared bosses, played ranked modes, farmed items, boosted characters, and poured countless hours into virtual worlds. If all of that experience becomes real power, then the amount should be ridiculous. For one moment, hope rises inside him. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the second life he always dreamed of. Maybe he really has been given the chance to live like a game character. Then Cheon-woo slams his head into the desk. Pain explodes through him. The same moment from before has arrived. But this time, Do-wan remembers what comes after. Cheon-woo curses him for taking his eyes off the phone. His anger is the same, his violence is the same, and the classroom is once again filled with students who refuse to step in. But Do-wan's eyes are different. Because now he knows. This bully is the reason he died. The week of suffering, the exhaustion, the collapse on the floor, the final apology to his mother, all of it began with Cheon-woo. Do-wan looks up at him. For the first time, the look in his eyes is not just fear. It is hatred. Cheon-woo notices immediately. He demands to know why Do-wan is glaring at him. Do-wan tries to speak, but part of him is still unsure if this is real. Maybe it is a dream. Maybe the pain will not matter. Then Cheon-woo hits him. The punch lands hard enough to erase that idea completely. It hurts. It hurts so much that Do-wan almost blacks out. This is not a dream. This is reality. Cheon-woo continues the beating. Do-wan crashes into desks. His body folds under the impact. The classroom becomes a blur of pain, noise, and humiliation. Then Jean returns. She sees him being beaten. She calls his name. For Do-wan, that makes everything worse. Being hit is one thing. Being hit in front of the girl who just made him feel human for the first time in forever is another kind of pain entirely. But Jean does not laugh. She does not step back. She tries to stop it. She grabs Cheon-woo's arm and tells him to leave Do-wan alone. The entire moment freezes in Do-wan's mind. Jean is protecting him. Someone is actually trying to help. But Cheon-woo turns on her. He grabs her by the hair. That image burns itself into Do-wan's brain. Jean stepped in because of him. She tried to stop his beating, and now she is getting hurt because he was too weak to protect himself. Something inside Do-wan snaps. He knows he cannot win. He knows Cheon-woo is stronger. He knows rushing in is stupid. But none of that matters anymore. His body moves before fear can stop him. He charges forward and swings. He screams at Cheon-woo to let her go. It should be useless. A weak punch from a bullied gamer should not change anything. But right before Cheon-woo can crush him again, the system finishes its calculation. Notifications explode in front of Do-wan's eyes. Experience points calculation complete. Experience points full. Class change initiated. His class evolves. Then evolves again. Skills unlock. And in that instant, Do-wan's body moves with a power he has never felt before. A skill activates. His strike connects. Cheon-woo is launched backward. The bully who always stood over him is suddenly sent flying like a defeated boss. The classroom goes silent. Ajin stares in disbelief. Do-wan is just as shocked as everyone else. His fist is still raised. His body is still trembling. His mind is racing so fast he can barely breathe. What was that? Then the system speaks again. A message from the administrator appears. The tone is strange. Dramatic. Familiar. Do-wan recognizes it almost immediately. The mysterious player from Lost Jack. The one he called Your Highness. The one who helped him get the great sword of the fire god. The system says this power is a gift for his kindness. And now Do-wan understands. Giving away the mythic sword was not meaningless. That one act reached someone, or something, connected to this system. The system continues. He has defeated the boss, Min Cheon-woo. Experience is awarded. His class changes again. Final job, sealed game shuttle. For one incredible moment, Do-wan thinks he has become overpowered. His level rises. His HP reaches incredible numbers. His attack power becomes absurd. Skills unlock one after another. It looks like the perfect fantasy. The bullied loser dies, returns to the past, protects the girl, awakens overwhelming power, and becomes the main character. Do-wan almost smiles. This is it. This is the life he wanted. Life really became a game. Then the system applies the sealed effect. And everything collapses. His power is locked. His stats are reset. His attack power drops. His HP falls. His offensive skills are sealed. His defensive skills are sealed. His MP is reduced. Almost everything disappears. Do-wan stares at the status window in disbelief. The system gave him a taste of godlike power, then ripped it away immediately. He wants to scream. What kind of final class turns him back into a weakling? What kind of reward is this? But the system does not answer his complaints. Instead, it gives him a quest reward. For defeating Cheon-woo, he receives a golden key. The item appears behind him like something summoned out of thin air. Later, when Do-wan checks it, the item description is almost useless. A golden key. A legendary item. Insert and turn to unlock. That is it. No clear explanation. No obvious target. No tutorial. Do-wan looks at the key and realizes this system is not going to guide him kindly. It gives him danger, quests, and strange rewards, but he has to figure out the rules himself. Still, one thing is clear. This world is no longer normal. Enemies can become bosses. Violence can trigger quests. Rewards can appear in reality. Stats can be sealed. Keys can unlock something. And if Do-wan wants to survive, he needs to learn how this game works before it kills him again. As he walks through the school, rumors begin spreading. Students whisper about his face. Some say Cheon-woo beat him badly. Others say the classroom was damaged. Nobody really knows what happened, because nobody was paying enough attention to understand the truth. They only know that something strange happened. Cheon-woo left angry. Do-wan is still standing. And that alone is unusual. But Do-wan is too distracted to care about rumors. His mind is stuck on the golden key and the system. He keeps trying to understand how everything connects. Then he bumps into another student. The boy apologizes immediately. His name is Ji-han. Do-wan notices his condition right away. Ji-han's nose is bleeding. His face looks bruised. His posture is nervous, like someone used to getting blamed even when nothing is his fault. Do-wan offers to get him a tissue, but Ji-han refuses politely. The interaction is short, but it leaves an impression. Because Do-wan recognizes that look. He has seen it in himself. That guy is being bullied too. Maybe even worse. Before Do-wan can think more about it, Jae-min Shin approaches. Ji-min is dangerous in a different way from Cheon-woo. Cheon-woo is obvious violence. Ji-min is smiling poison. He acts casual, but there is always something threatening under the surface. He tells Do-wan that he saw what happened. He saw him take down Cheon-woo. Now he is interested. He calls Do-wan an assassin hiding his power. That immediately makes Do-wan nervous. Because Ji-min has misunderstood the situation completely. Do-wan is not secretly strong. His powers are sealed. His stats are low. His body still hurts. If someone like Ji-min tests him properly, Do-wan might get exposed instantly. Then Ji-min invites him out that night. Drinks. Girls. A gathering. At first, Do-wan wants nothing to do with it. But then he remembers the quest notification. Dangerous invitation. Tonight, he will receive an invitation. Accept the quest and become the star of the night. Do-wan realizes this is the invitation. A system quest is staring him in the face. And quests mean rewards. Rewards mean keys. Keys mean unlocking his sealed power. It is dangerous, but it might also be necessary. Still, Do-wan's survival instinct wins at first. He refuses. He lies and says he has to visit his grandfather's grave. Ji-min accepts the excuse and leaves. Do-wan breathes in relief. For a moment, he thinks he made the smart choice. Then the system announces a penalty. The suffering begins. And Do-wan learns something very important. This system does not like being ignored. The punishment is humiliating, bizarre, and unbearable. It hits him so suddenly that he cannot even pretend to be calm. His body is thrown into a nightmare-like experience that makes him regret refusing almost instantly. When the system offers the quest again, Do-wan accepts. Not bravely. Not confidently. He accepts because the penalty is worse than his fear. That night, he goes to meet Ji-min. The street is bright, busy, and full of people, but Do-wan feels completely alone. Every instinct he has is telling him to turn around, but the system has already made that impossible. Ji-min greets him casually and asks about the grave visit. Do-wan panics and gives a ridiculous excuse, saying his grandfather was busy, which makes no sense at all. But Ji-min does not care enough to question it. Then the girls arrive. The atmosphere changes immediately. The group moves to a karaoke room filled with food and alcohol. Do-wan looks at the drinks and wonders if high school students are even allowed to be doing this. Ji-min explains that he knows someone connected to the place, so they can get away with it. Everything feels wrong. But for a short while, Ji-min acts friendly. He offers to pay. He pours drinks. He asks Do-wan about his alcohol tolerance. He smiles like he is welcoming him into the group. And despite himself, Do-wan starts to relax. Maybe this is not so bad. Maybe Ji-min really is different. Maybe this is the doorway into a new life. Then Ji-min says his wallet should arrive soon. Do-wan catches the word. Wallet? The door opens. Ji-han walks in. And suddenly, everything makes sense. Ji-han is the wallet. Not literally, but in the cruel social order of people like Ji-min, he may as well be. He is the one forced to pay. The one ordered around. The one everyone humiliates while pretending it is a joke. Do-wan watches the way Ji-min treats him and feels something twist in his stomach. Because he knows this scene. He has lived this scene. Different room. Different bully. Different victim. Same cruelty. Jimin spills a drink on Jihan on purpose, then acts like it was an accident. He blames Jihan's clothes. He laughs. The others follow the mood. Jihan apologizes even though he did nothing wrong. Do-wan sees all of it. And every second makes him more uncomfortable. This is what bullies do. They create a problem, then force the victim to apologize for it. They humiliate someone weaker, then call it fun. They make cruelty look like entertainment. And the worst part is that Do-wan understands why Jihan does not fight back. Because he would not have fought back either. Jimin keeps pushing. He tries to make Jihan dance as a joke. The girls laugh. The room treats it like harmless fun, but Do-wan can see the fear underneath Jihan's silence. He cannot watch anymore. So he goes to the restroom. Inside, Do-wan tries to calm himself down, but his hands are shaking. The truth is obvious. Jimin only invited him because he thinks Do-wan is strong. The moment he finds out Do-wan's power is sealed, this whole thing could turn into another beating. Do-wan tells himself the smartest move is to leave. He can just walk out. The quest was only to accept the invitation. He accepted it. He came. That should be enough, right? He heads for the exit. But before he leaves, he thinks of Jihan. The bruised face. The forced apologies. The humiliation. The way everyone watched and did nothing. Do-wan remembers himself. He remembers sitting in class while everyone watched Cheon-woo beat him. He remembers wishing someone would step in. And now he is the one standing close enough to do something. That thought stops him. Because running away might save him, but it would also mean becoming one more person who looked away. Do-wan turns back. When he returns, he asks where Jihan's pants are. The room goes quiet. Jimin gives a fake explanation, saying he was washing them because of the drink spill. Do-wan knows it is a lie. Everyone knows it is a lie. This is just another humiliation. At that moment, Do-wan makes a choice. He cannot overpower them, so he bluffs. He acts cold. He reaches out and demands the item back. He tries to play the role Jimin already gave him, the mysterious hidden assassin. For 1 second, it almost works. Then Man-chun enters the room. Do-wan looks at him and immediately knows this is different. Man-chun is huge. Rough. Dangerous. He does not look like a normal student. He looks like someone who has spent years solving problems with violence. His presence fills the room, and Do-wan's fake confidence almost disappears on the spot. This is not a bully. This is a boss. Do-wan panics and blurts out that he wanted the microphone. Somehow, that excuse works. But the system is not finished with him. A quest window appears. The dangerous invitation quest is complete. A chain quest begins. The mission is simple and insane. Smash the microphone on Jaemin Shin's head. Reward, bronze key. Time limit, 30 minutes. Do-wan stares at the message in horror. The system wants him to attack Jimin. Here. In this room. With Man-chun nearby. This is not a quest. This is execution. He refuses internally immediately. Then the system reminds him that failure means penalty. And suddenly, Do-wan is trapped between two disasters. If he completes the quest, Jimin and Man-chun might kill him. If he fails, the system might punish him again. While Do-wan is silently losing his mind, Jimin begins talking to him seriously. He says he needs strong people. He wants Do-wan to join him. Together, they can take over the district. Money. Power. Status. Girls. Revenge. Jimin lays it all out like he is offering Do-wan a ticket into a better life. At first, Do-wan wants to reject it. But then Jimin says something that hits exactly where it hurts. Does Do-wan really want to keep living as someone else's game booster? That question cuts deep. Because Do-wan hates his life. He hates being used. He hates being weak. He hates lowering his head. He hates that people like Cheon-woo can control him with one threat. If joining Jimin means he never has to be that person again, then maybe it is tempting. Maybe power is power, no matter where it comes from. Maybe standing with bullies is better than being crushed by them. For one moment, Do-wan imagines a different school life. People moving aside when he walks. No one forcing him to grind. No one daring to hit him. No more fear. And that image almost pulls him in. Then Jihan quietly gives him back the golden key he dropped earlier. Jihan tells him he should not hang around Jimin. Do-wan almost takes it the wrong way. For a second, he thinks Jihan is telling him to stay weak. To pass up his chance. To remain a loser like him. But Jihan's reason is simple. Do-wan does not seem like a bad person. That sentence changes the air. Because Jihan is not jealous. He is not trying to drag Do-wan down. He is warning him because he believes Do-wan still has a choice. The timer keeps counting down. Do-wan panics and steps out, trying to endure the penalty alone instead of completing the mission. He tells himself that if this is the price of avoiding becoming a bully, he can take it. But as the timer reaches its final seconds, fear overwhelms him. Jimin walks out. Do-wan appears behind him holding the microphone. One swing. The hit lands. Jimin collapses. Do-wan stands there breathing hard, shocked at what he just did, but also strangely clear. He tells himself he is not joining Jimin. He would rather stay a loser than become the kind of trash who bullies weaker people. Maybe the penalty forced his hand. Maybe fear pushed him. But the decision still says something about him. When the moment came, Do-wan chose not to become them. And that choice is about to drag him into an even bigger fight. Do-wan is still standing there with the microphone in his hand, breathing like someone who just jumped off a cliff and only now realized there was no ground beneath him. Shin Ji-min is down. The guy who smiled like he had everything under control, the guy who invited him here, the guy who tried to tempt him with power and status, is now collapsed on the floor because Do-wan actually completed the system's insane mission. For a moment, Do-wan cannot even believe it. He really did it. He actually hit him. And the worst part is, it worked. Ji-min is unconscious. The quest is complete. The bronze key reward has appeared somewhere nearby. The system got exactly what it wanted. But now Do-wan has a much bigger problem. Because Ji-min was not alone. And Man-chun is still here. Do-wan knows he has only a few seconds before everything falls apart. His mind starts racing. If anyone sees Ji-min like this, there is no way to explain it. No excuse will save him. No lie will be believable. He needs to move Ji-min somewhere hidden before someone walks in. So he grabs him and starts dragging him away, panicking with every step. His heart is pounding. His body is shaking. His brain is screaming at him to hurry. Because even though he chose not to become a bully, that does not mean he suddenly became fearless. He is still Ha Do-wan. Still the same guy who spent years lowering his head. Still the same guy whose body remembers every punch. Still the same guy who knows exactly what happens when stronger people get angry. And right now, he just attacked one of them. Inside the karaoke room, Man-chun is still singing like he owns the entire place. His voice is loud, rough, and shameless. He is completely absorbed in himself, acting like everyone around him exists only to praise him. Do-wan sees this as a chance. A stupid chance, but still a chance. Since he is already in trouble, he decides to push things even further. He takes Ji-min's phone and starts sending messages to Man-chun. At first, it is just bait. But once Do-wan starts typing, all the fear, anger, and stress inside him begins spilling out. He insults Man-chun's singing. Then his appearance. Then his attitude. Then, because Do-wan apparently has no survival instinct left, he sends even more messages, pushing harder and harder, trying to make Man-chun leave the room alone. His plan is simple. Anger him. Separate him. Create an opening. Maybe survive. The problem is, Do-wan forgets one important thing. Man-chun is not as easy to fool as he looks. Before Do-wan can even fully prepare himself, a heavy presence appears behind him. The air changes. Do-wan turns slowly. And there he is. Man-chun. Up close, he looks even worse. He is huge. Not just tall, but heavy, wide, and built like someone who has spent his entire life intimidating people. His face is twisted with annoyance, and the way he stares down at Do-wan makes it clear that he has already figured out enough. Do-wan's stomach drops. He is dead. The system window appears right on time, as if it wants to make the situation feel even more like a boss fight. Man-chun has been enraged by the players' taunts. Battle will begin. Do-wan reads the message and almost wants to laugh from pure despair. Battle? This is not a battle. This is a bug getting stepped on by a truck. Man-chun does not waste time talking. He attacks immediately. One kick. That is all it takes. Do-wan's body is launched backward like he weighs nothing. Pain explodes through him before he even hits the ground. His breath is knocked out of his lungs, and for a second, his brain cannot even process where he landed. This is the difference between them. Against Ji-min, Do-wan had the element of surprise. Against Cheon-woo, the system unlocked a skill at the perfect moment. But against Man-chun, he has nothing. No preparation. No real strength. No safety. No guarantee that the system will save him. Just pain. Man-chun walks toward him slowly, like he is not even in a hurry. He looks more confused than impressed. To him, Do-wan is not threatening. He is just an annoying little guy who somehow made a mess. He grabs Do-wan, throws him around, and starts beating him with overwhelming physical force. Every hit makes it clear that Man-chun has fought people before. This is not random bullying. He knows how to hurt someone. He knows where to hit. He knows how to make the other person lose the will to stand. Do-wan's body screams at him to stay down. And honestly, the old Do-wan probably would have. The old Do-wan would have apologized. The old Do-wan would have begged. The old Do-wan would have curled up and hoped the beating ended quickly. But something has changed. Not enough to make him strong. But enough to make him angry. Do-wan looks up at Man-chun through the pain and finally says what he has always wanted to say to people like him. The real cowards are not the weak people who cannot fight back. The real cowards are the ones who only attack people weaker than them. People like Man-chun. People like Ji-min. People like Cheon-woo. They walk around acting powerful, but their strength only exists because they choose targets who cannot resist. They do not fight fair. They do not prove anything. They steal, threaten, humiliate, and crush people below them, then call themselves strong. Do-wan tries to keep talking, but Man-chun shuts him up with another brutal attack. The force sends him crashing into a pile of objects. His vision blurs. His ears ring. For a moment, all he can do is lie there and breathe. Then he sees it. The golden key. It is lying near him, glowing faintly like it has been waiting for this exact moment. Do-wan's fingers tremble as he reaches for it. The item window appears again. Golden key. Legendary item. Insert and turn to unlock. The description still sounds useless. But this time, Do-wan remembers something. The administrator's message. A key is supposed to go into a lock. Do-wan looks around desperately. There is no door. No chest. No lock on the wall. Nothing. But then his eyes move to the system window. His skill menu appears. And suddenly, he sees it. A keyhole. Not on an object. On the interface. The lock is inside the system itself. Do-wan understands just enough to act. He grabs the golden key and shoves it into the keyhole on the skill window. The moment he turns it, light bursts outward. Power shifts. Something sealed opens. Do-wan feels it instantly. It is not like becoming fully overpowered again. It is not the same flood of strength he felt in the classroom when he first hit Cheon-woo. This is smaller. More limited. Like unlocking one door in a giant prison. But it is still power. And right now, even a little power is enough to give him a chance. The system shows him an active skill. A skill from one of the games he used to play. Eagle Descent. A jumping attack where the user launches into the air and slams down with a powerful kick. Do-wan sees the skill and understands the plan immediately. Man-chun is bigger. Stronger. Heavier. More experienced. But if Do-wan can use a real game skill, none of that might matter. He only needs one clean hit. One chance. Man-chun notices him standing again and grins like he is happy to see his prey still moving. He tells Do-wan to come at him, acting like this is entertainment. Do-wan forces himself forward. His body hurts everywhere. His legs feel unstable. His face is probably a mess. But he pushes through it and prepares the skill. In his mind, he can already see the move. Jump. Activate. Descend. Crush him. This is it. This is the comeback. Do-wan launches himself upward. For one brief second, he feels hope. Then the system rejects the skill. Insufficient mana. Do-wan's heart drops. The skill requires more MP than he has. He checks his status in panic and realizes the horrible truth. His MP is too low. He unlocked the skill, but he does not have enough mana to activate it. It is like being handed a weapon with no ammunition. Before he can do anything, Man-chun's fist meets him in midair. Do-wan gets smashed down. The failure is humiliating and painful. He crashes to the ground with the kind of impact that makes his whole body go numb. For a moment, he cannot move. His mind screams at the system. Why give him a skill he cannot even use? What is the point of unlocking power if the requirements are still impossible? Man-chun laughs down at him, calling him pathetic, and Do-wan knows he is running out of time. His body will not last much longer. Another few hits like that and he may not get back up. Then he remembers. The bronze key. The reward from the microphone quest. When he completed the mission against Ji-min, the system should have dropped the reward. If it works the same way as the golden key, the bronze key should be somewhere near the place where the quest was completed. Near the bathroom. Do-wan's eyes sharpen. That is his only chance. He needs the bronze key. He tries to move. Man-chun grabs him before he can escape. Another hit lands. Do-wan nearly folds in half from the pain. Man-chun is getting annoyed now. He does not understand why this little shrimp keeps trying to stand. From his perspective, the fight is already over. Do-wan should just collapse, apologize, and accept the beating. But Do-wan cannot do that. Not this time. He is too scared to be brave, but too desperate to surrender. He needs that key. So he starts improvising. Do-wan looks past Man-chun and suddenly shouts like reinforcements have arrived. He calls out as if someone is about to attack from behind. Man-chun reacts on instinct and turns around. There is nobody there. It is a cheap trick. A childish trick. But it works. The moment Man-chun looks away, Do-wan runs. Not smoothly. Not heroically. He stumbles forward like someone whose legs are about to give out. His breath is ragged. His vision is shaking. Every step sends pain through his body. But he forces himself toward the bathroom area. He has to find it. The bronze key. His reward. His only way to use Eagle Descent. Behind him, Man-chun realizes he has been fooled and starts chasing. Do-wan hears him coming. That heavy, angry presence closing in behind him. He knows if Man-chun catches him before he finds the key, it is over. He searches desperately, scanning the floor, corners, anything. His mind is almost completely consumed by one question. Where is it? Where is the key? Then he sees it. A small bronze key lying where the quest reward should be. Do-wan almost cries from relief. He grabs it. The item information appears immediately. Bronze key. Rare item. Unlocks part of the sealed stats. This time, the description is clear. Do-wan opens his character status window and sees the keyhole. Man-chun is already charging at him, roaring with fury. There is no time to think carefully. Do-wan inserts the bronze key. The system gives him a choice. Select one stat to permanently increase. Do-wan does not hesitate. He chooses MP. Because right now, mana is the difference between dying like a helpless victim and landing the one skill that can save him. The bronze key turns. The stat unlocks. His MP rises. Man-chun attacks. Do-wan dodges by a hair. Then he jumps. This time, when he activates Eagle Descent, the system accepts it. The skill triggers. Do-wan's body moves in a way it never could naturally. His jump sharpens. His balance changes. His leg pulls back with perfect timing, and for one moment, he feels like the boundary between game and reality has disappeared completely. Man-chun looks up. Too late. Do-wan comes down like a falling blade. His foot slams into Man-chun's head with explosive force. The impact echoes through the room. Man-chun's face twists. Blood bursts from his mouth. His eyes roll back, and the giant body that seemed impossible to defeat finally drops to its knees. The system announces the result. Monster Man-chun has been defeated. Do-wan lands badly, almost collapsing himself. For a few seconds, he cannot speak. He just stares. He won. Against that monster. Against someone who terrified him from the moment he walked into the room. He actually won. His body is shaking from pain, fear, and adrenaline, but underneath all of that is something new. Proof. Proof that the system can work. Proof that keys can unlock real power. Proof that Do-wan can defeat people who once looked impossible. The quest reward appears. This time, he receives a silver key. Do-wan barely has the energy to react, but he understands the meaning. Bronze key unlocked one stat. Silver might unlock something stronger. The path is becoming clearer. Every victory gives him a key. Every key unlocks another part of himself. Every unlocked piece gives him a better chance of surviving the next fight. For the first time, Do-wan feels like he might be able to climb out of the bottom. Then the door opens. And that tiny feeling of victory gets crushed immediately. Ji-min is awake. He looks furious, confused, and humiliated. His head probably still hurts from the microphone, but his eyes are sharp enough to understand that something unbelievable happened while he was down. Then another person enters. Man-chun's older brother. Do-wan feels his stomach collapse all over again. Because this is not just another student. This is someone connected to Man-chun, someone older, rougher, and ready to explode after seeing his little brother unconscious on the floor. And as if that is not enough, the noise brings more people. Other delinquents start gathering. One by one, the room fills with hostile faces. Do-wan looks around and realizes the situation is worse than before. He defeated Man-chun. But now he has no mana. No stamina. No strength left. No ability to run. No guarantee that another key can save him in time. The crowd begins surrounding him. Ji-min glares like he wants to tear him apart. Man-chun's brother is furious. Everyone else is watching with the kind of excitement that tells Do-wan none of them are here to help. He won the fight. But he is about to lose the war. And this is where the reality of his new life becomes cruelly obvious. In a game, defeating a boss means the danger ends. In real life, defeating one enemy can summon 10 more. Do-wan's mind races through possible escapes, but every option fails. He cannot talk his way out. He cannot fight his way out. He cannot run. He cannot use Eagle Descent again. He is trapped. For a moment, he wonders if this is how he dies again. Not from sleep deprivation this time. Not from grinding a game. But from getting torn apart by a group of thugs after winning one impossible fight. Then someone shouts from outside. The police are here. The entire atmosphere breaks instantly. The delinquents panic. Because this karaoke room is full of underage drinking, illegal behavior, and enough evidence to cause a real problem. Suddenly, the people who looked so powerful a second ago are scrambling like rats. Some rush for the fire escape. Some curse under their breath. Some complain that the timing is terrible. Man-chun's brother lifts him and throws Do-wan one last furious threat before leaving. Ji-min also points at Do-wan and makes it clear this is not over. They know his face now. They will remember him. And next time, there may not be police to save him. Then they disappear. Do-wan stands there in silence, soaked in sweat. For a few seconds, all he can do is breathe. He is alive. Somehow, he is still alive. But the moment the danger leaves, the strength leaves with it. His body finally understands that it does not need to keep standing anymore. The pain he pushed away comes rushing back. The beating from Cheon-woo. The microphone panic. The fight with Man-chun. The failed skill. The mana unlock. The final kick. The fear of being surrounded. Everything hits him at once. His knees weaken. His vision darkens. And Do-wan collapses. When he opens his eyes again, the first thing he feels is confusion. The ceiling is unfamiliar. The air is quiet. His body still hurts everywhere, but he is not being attacked. Then he hears a voice telling him he is awake. Do-wan turns and sees Ji-seon. One of the girls from the party. For a second, he cannot understand why she is there. Then he realizes something even more confusing. They are in the women's restroom. And that's where we leave it. If you made it this far, do me a favor and hit subscribe, like and share this story for your friends to enjoy because the next episode picks up right where this cliffhanger drops. Drop a comment on what you think happens next, and I'll see you in the next one.